I know Melissa because we work together at a local nonprofit agency in Los Angeles where we help seniors and disabled adults with their Medicare and health insurance. Melissa has always been a really resourceful coworker and a very caring coworker.
I know Melissa from about 5 years ago when I arrived here, and I knew her as an outstanding human rights activist through the culture and arts.
I became acquainted with Melissa through some of her good friends that were participating in a Bible study of the Eagle Rock Study Action Group that I was a part of. And I actually knew her through her poetry before knowing her personally.
I first heard about Melissa shortly after the abduction.
Melissa was abducted and tortured. And I believe her when she says that it was the military of the Philippine government. The suffering that she underwent at the hands of her captors cry out towards heaven for justice.
When I first found out from another coworker what happened to Melissa, I was really shocked. I knew she was doing some human rights work in the Philippines, but I never thought that a kidnapping could happen to someone I knew.
When I first heard about Melissa's case, I was really taken aback and appalled. Innocent people are just getting hurt and taken and kidnapped for no reason.
We were shocked when we heard about the abduction in the Philippines of an American citizen.
How in the world could something like this happen to somebody who's gone out of her way to travel 10,000 miles from Los Angeles to essentially help Filipinos, the needy, the poor, and those who are in need of health services?
Someone who is giving of herself for her people, there to be a healer, there to make a contribution to the health and wholeness of her own people, and to have and to be victimized because of that is just outrageous, and really raised my level of awareness as to the depth and breadth of human rights violations in the Philippines.
I probably never really thought much about human rights work or human rights victims until Melissa went through her situation. Once we found out, the people that knew her at the office were all very, very, very concerned. Then when we found out that she surfaced, we were very relieved. We were very concerned about her well-being and how she was going to get back home, her protection and her safety.
Something should be done so that the same would not be repeated, and innocent people who are just doing their duty to help others in our country, in our poor country, would not suffer the same fate.
What happened to her was just completely unacceptable, and no one should ever be treated that way. We should acknowledge this issue, not just for Melissa, but for everyone who's been abducted and wrongfully kidnapped.
I think Melissa brings a very human face to being kidnapped. I mean, how many people do you know that gets kidnapped, they're found, and they survive? Melissa is our survivor.
So it's very important for all of us to be able to support Melissa in her quest for justice, and to stand beside her and with her in solidarity.